Let me see if I can get this to focus. There we go. So today on the store, 10 orders, about 700 in revenue. And today I want to give some tips. If you're starting print on demand in 2021, that's what we're going to be talking about. So a recent survey from the Shopify people has made clear a few things. Okay, the first is that advertising costs are going to continue to rise as more sellers enter the marketplace and big brands continue to increase their advertising dollars. Digitally, we're going to see increased competition, and Facebook and Instagram ad costs are going to continue to go up. The second thing is that buying behavior is continuing to shift towards online shopping. People are shopping more than ever on their cell phones. They are clicking ads and they are purchasing products. Those two things are apparent, and that is found on these reports from Shopify. I will put links down in the description to these things. And if you're thinking about starting print on demand in 2021, or maybe you have already gotten started, inside of this video today, we're hopefully going to be able to give you some tips so that way you can start the year off right. We'll jump into it right after this. All right, guys, Joe Robert here. Like I said, two things are happening. The first is that ad costs are rising, and then the second is that people are shopping online more than ever. Now, those two things are good and bad, right? The more that ads cost, the more that we have to spend in order to promote our product. And here's the thing. If you're doing print on demand, I've said it before here on the channel, the best way to start your store and sell your products is to utilize Shopify and then Facebook and Instagram ads to sell your products. And if you guys want to get started, I do have a free training down in the description, and it is not your typical free training. It is an entire free course with dozens of videos showing you how to get your store up and running and get started using Facebook and Instagram ads. Check that out. The link is down in the description. Now, I recommend this strategy because on Shopify, you're going to have access to much better print-on-demand products than you would find anywhere else. And then by using Facebook ads and Instagram ads, you're going to be able to reach more customers on day one of starting your store. This is because no matter what your niche is, you're going to be able to use Facebook's targeting features to show your products to people who may want to buy them. So let's say that you're in the hunting niche and you're creating products for people who love to go hunting. You can easily build audiences that are going to contain people that are going to be passionate about hunting. And then you can run ads and show them your products, and then hopefully they will come to your store and purchase from you. And like I said, in this video, we're going to be talking about some tips that you need to be paying attention to in order to make this strategy work for you in 2021. These are the same strategies that I'm currently using in my own businesses and the ones that I have been teaching to others for the past few years. Now, I know there is going to be people down in the comments that are going to say things like, hey, Joe, I tried Facebook ads, they didn't work. I think they are a scam. And honestly, here's the thing. Just because Facebook ads didn't work for you doesn't mean that the strategy doesn't work. It just means that you didn't do a good job at using the strategy. It just means that whatever store you've built is not a place where people want to spend money. It just means that the products you've created, nobody wants to buy. Obviously, if it's not working, it has a lot to do with what you are actually doing and not the actual strategy. Because Facebook ads are just a tool. They are not a solution to a bad store or a bad product. So here's the first thing that we're going to talk about today, right? I mentioned that Facebook ad costs are continuing to rise. This is because it is getting more competitive and thus the costs are going up. Now, about 3 years ago when I started print on demand, there was less competition. This means that Facebook ads were generally much cheaper to run. You could literally spend about $3 and show your ad to about 1,000 people. And if one person bought after showing your ad to that many people, you were making some pretty profitable sales because you were barely spending anything on ads. This meant on average, we were spending about $5 on ads to acquire a customer. And this allowed for a lot of the strategies that you see people talk about here on YouTube by selling silly t-shirts and things like that. This allowed that strategy to actually work because you were just spending a couple of dollars on ads, and if you were selling that product, you were remaining profitable. Now, as I said, ad costs are continuing to go up. This is no new trend. They have been rising year over year, and that is going to be no different in 2021. Nobody knows how high they're going to go, but for the moment, we can still use Facebook ads to promote promote print-on-demand products. Now it costs about $20 to show an ad to about 1,000 people. So think about that, right? Back in the day, a couple years ago, it was about $5 to show the ad to that many people, and now you're spending about $20. So that's going to mean that you're going to need to pick a different product because it's going to cost you more to acquire a customer. If you guys want to see some of the products that I recommend, check out this video here. The link is also down in the description. It shows the top 50 print-on-demand products that I would recommend you to sell. So another tip today is going to be all about your store. We're going to break this down into a couple of different categories and things that you can focus on in order to make sure that anything you're doing on your store is leading to sales. The first thing is your brand, and a lot of people miss this part, right? They don't understand what I mean when I say the word brand. I'm not talking about a name brand. I'm not talking about your logo. I'm talking about the perception of your store in the eyes of the customer. I'm talking about the feelings that people get when they come onto your store. This includes the look, the style, the feel of your store. It includes how your logo looks, the color scheme you're using, the way you've written your descriptions, and things like that. You need to make sure that you are creating an awesome looking digital brand and not just something that looks like a typical online e-commerce store. Take a look at this store here. You can see that everything is pretty basic. I will scroll through. You can see that their logo, their product images, and even their description is super generic. Now, when you create a print-on-demand product inside of a Shopify print-on-demand app, it is going to generate a default description, and the worst thing you can do is to use it. You want to make sure that you are editing this description and not just leaving it as the generic thing that generates. This is not going to help your cause when it comes to building an awesome print-on-demand brand. I talk about this a lot on my channel. I have tons of videos where I review other stores and I highlight things that people do well and also things that people don't do well. Take a look at this store here. See how they've made just some simple tweaks to their store. They have a nice logo, they have a great description, and they've even added this trust badge here with their logo. Now, most Shopify store owners are simply just using something like this, and honestly, this is something that people started to do in 2017, and nowadays it's just viewed as sort of a scam thing from the eyes of the customer. The next part of brand is social proof. And social proof does not have to be something that you overthink. Social proof literally just means showing your customers that your store is legit. And there are a few ways that you can do this on your store. The first way is to simply just use a review app. You guys can check out Loox, Loox, in the Shopify App Store. It's going to request customer reviews of your products and ask them to submit a photo in exchange for a discount code. And then it will automatically display these on your store. You can see this store right here is using Loox, and they are collecting a ton of photo reviews. This is really going to help your store because when people come on it, they're going to see that other people are buying the products, and that is going to be enough proof for them that they can trust you with their hard-earned dollars as well. Now, some of you are going to be watching this video and you're going to say, Joe, I don't have any sales yet, so how can I get social proof if I don't have any sales? I don't have any customers to give me a photo review, so what should I do? And honestly, it's really quite simple. There are a few things you can do. The first is go on to Instagram and search for pages inside of your niche. Look for someone who is popular inside of your niche. So earlier I mentioned the hunting niche. What you could do is go onto Instagram, try to find somebody with a very popular Instagram page and simply just send them a message. Say something like, hey, I checked out your page. I was wondering if you would be willing to allow me to send you a product that I sell on my e-commerce store. I will pay you to post a photo on your Instagram. And then if they say yes, simply order them a sample, send it to them, and then when they post it on their Instagram, you can screenshot that and put it on your store. This is a great way to build social proof even if you don't have sales. It does require you to actually buy a sample and do a little bit of legwork and reach out to someone and ask them to make a post for you like that. Now, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, or if you can't find somebody inside of your niche that you think would be a good fit, you could even just order a sample yourself and then have your friends and family model your item in one of their social media profiles and screenshot their post and use it on your store. The customers are not going to know the difference difference whether it was someone that is really popular on Instagram or if it's just your uncle. Doing either one of these things is going to be a way to just get a little bit of social proof onto your store. Now, the third way is that you could simply just highlight your own Instagram or Facebook page on your store. This is going to show customers that your store and your brand exists elsewhere, right? That you're not just a store, right? You're also a brand, you have social media presence and things like that. That's going to help people to understand that you are a real store and that they can trust you with their money. Now, also, when it comes to Facebook ads, right, most people are treating them like a slot machine, right? They're coming up to the slot machine, they're putting money in, they're pulling the lever, and they're closing their eyes and just hoping for the best. And then what they're not doing is following up with people after they view the store. Let me paint a picture of this scenario right here. Let's say that you spend $20 on an ad and you get about 1,500 people to come to your store. Now, let's say that nobody buys, right? Is that the end of the process? No. What you should be doing is following up with those people. And you can do that in a couple of different ways. The first would be to create retargeting ads. Have you ever been browsing online, looking at a product, and then you leave that product and you go back onto Facebook and you see an ad for that exact product? That is exactly what you need to be doing because people are busy. Let's face it, people might be sitting in the car and scrolling on their phones when they're at a red light and they happen to see your product, they visit your store, but then the light turns green and they start to drive. Or maybe if they're like me, they have a couple of kids at home and while they're looking at your store, they end up getting distracted and not buying. But then when they are sitting on the couch at night, once the kids go to bed, they're going to be served a retargeting ad and be reminded of how much they wanted your product and then hopefully come back to buy it. That is the power of retargeting ads, and if you're not running them, you are likely leaving a bunch of money on the table. The next thing you can do to follow up would be to use email and text message marketing. Have you ever been browsing online and you see an offer to enter your email or a phone number in exchange for a discount code? The amount of people that are not utilizing anything like this on their store is insane. If you're not doing this, then you are again leaving money on the table. When someone comes to your store, you need to have something set up to ask them for an email or a phone number because, like I said, people are busy. They're going to get distracted, and if people are entering their information, that means that they have a little bit of interest. And if you're able to follow up with them in the future with another offer, another product, maybe a bigger discount code or something like that, you are going to recapture some of those sales. And like I said at the beginning of this video, ad costs are going up and you want to make sure that you are maximizing your ad spend by following up with people, whether it is with a retargeting ad or with an email or a text message discount. Now, when it comes to running a print-on-demand business in 2021, there is one thing that is going to be the deal breaker here. If you mess this part up, you are simply just going to fail. There's no other way around it. I talk about this on my channel all of the time, and that is your niche. Now, when people are shopping online, they buy products for two reasons. The first is that the product solves a problem for them. If you are selling some sort of a gadget or a tool or something like that, right? People are buying it because it solves a problem for them. But when you're selling a hoodie or a blanket or a canvas wall art like the things I have behind me, nobody is having any problems solved for them with those products. So that means that we have to play on their emotion, and that is done through picking a great niche. If you don't choose a good niche, then nothing else you do is going to matter. And that's how I can help. If you guys check the link down in the description, I have a whole bunch of stuff there for you. I have other YouTube videos linked. I have my free training. I have my Facebook group, and I have something called the Print on Demand Challenge. This is a 14-day program where you get to work directly with me. It is super affordable, and I'm going to walk you through the process of actually creating a winning print on demand product. We're going to dive into your niche. We're going to talk about researching your niche. We're going to talk about selecting products for your niche and creating an epic design to put on your products. And if you guys want to check that out, click the link down in the description, come work with me, and maybe we can create something awesome together in 2021. So that's the end of the video, folks. Good luck with your store here in 2021, and I'll see you guys in the next video.